Hi, friends. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're going to do a nice strong flow, a nice flow and strong flow. We're going to be doing a lot of spinal undulations tonight and also some side body stretching. Feeling into the body, just feeling good and getting some movement in the spine. Our balance poses tonight, we're going to be doing L shape. And then our strength pose that we're going to do tonight is going to be Wild Thing. We'll go ahead and get started here. I'm ready to start. Let's go ahead and start on our backs. Slowly coming down to our backs here. Knees are going to be up to the sky, feet flat on the mat just to start. And then we're going to find ourselves in Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet touching as the knees fall away from the body. We're going to place one hand on the heart and the other on the belly. Noticing our breath here. Now, the tendency in Supta Baddha Konasana here is we overextend the natural C curve of the back when the knees are falling away from the body. So I also want another cue here as we slightly tuck the pelvic bowl towards the belly button, pushing the sacrum into the ground, creating more of a natural curve in the back, in the low back. Back of the neck is nice and long here. And let's focus in on our breath. Starting to slow the breath down here. We're going to take long, deep inhales and long, deep exhales. Let's practice this breath for 3 more rounds. Returning to a natural breath. And just noticing here the calmness in the body. We're going to guide the knees back together. So place the hands on the outside of the thighs and slowly guide those knees back together. Knees up to the ceiling, feet flat on the mat. We're going to take rolling bridge here. So bend those knees as much as you can. Arms are going to be alongside the body, palms facing down. And with your next inhale, we're going to inhale and we're going to lift those hips up towards the sky. Exhale here as we slowly lower the spine down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Inhale, push those heels into the mat, lifting the hips up towards the sky. And exhale, slowly lower back. Next, inhale here. We're going to push those heels into the mat, lifting the hips up towards the sky. And then we're going to extend the right leg up towards the sky. So lengthen out that leg, toes pointing up. And big exhale here. We're going to slowly lower the spine down, one vertebra at a time, and bring that right ankle on top of the left knee. We're going to take a QL stretch here. So on a big exhale, we're going to rock this leg, this right leg over to the left side. Planting that right foot down on the ground or the mat. And just settle into this nice passive supine twist. We're going to take this left hand now. We're going to place it on the inside of the right knee. And with a big exhale, we're going to push the knee away from the body. Getting a nice stretch back here in your QL muscle. Softening up in this hip joint. Just breathe here. Next inhale, we're going to inhale and bring those legs back to center, keeping the legs in a figure 4. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to bring the right knee down towards the right side. Getting a nice left internal hip rotation here. Let's gaze over that left shoulder. Next inhale, we're going to come back to center nice and slow. And then we're going to reach through wherever we can, grab behind the thigh or the left knee in front of that left knee. We're going to take supine pigeon here. Draw that left knee towards the heart. You can rock side to side here as well. Feels really nice to keep it fluid. Next, exhale here. We're going to release this left knee, bring the left foot back down to the mat, and now we're going to take the right knee and cross it over the left knee. We're going to plant that left heel into the mat and lift the hips up, and then scoot those hips over towards the right about an inch, and then allow the knees to fall over towards the left side. We're going to Y out the arms here, or T out the arms, and we're going to gaze over that right shoulder. Feeling into this deep lumbar twist. Next, inhale here. We're going to lift those knees back to center. Uncross those legs. And we're going to do rolling bridge again. Planting the hands alongside the body here. And inhale as we push the heels into the mat, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Inhale, push those heels into the mat, lifting the hips up towards the sky. And exhale, slowly lower those hips back down. Next, inhale here. We're going to push those heels into the mat, and then we're going to lengthen out this left leg, reaching those toes up to the sky. Next, exhale. We're going to slowly lower the spine down, and we're going to bring that left ankle on top of the right knee, keeping the legs in a figure 4 here. And then exhale as we rock that architecture over to the right side, dropping that left foot down to the mat and feel into this passive supine twist. Noticing the difference from side to side, noticing the tightness in different areas of the body. Now we're going to take this right hand and we're going to place it on the inside of the left knee and slowly push the knee away from the body. Getting a nice stretch in your QL muscles. You can even feel it a little bit in the TFL, even in the glute medius, possibly. Releasing this right hand and inhale as we come back to center. And again, we're going to do that internal hip rotation. So exhale as we drop that left knee towards the left side of the mat. Feeling the stretch here. And you're coming up on the toe edge of the right foot. So the toe edge of the right foot is pressing down to the ground. Next, inhale here. We're going to bring the knees back to center, keeping a figure 4. And then exhale as we reach through. And we're going to grab wherever we can, bringing that right knee into the heart in our supine pigeon here. And again, rocking side to side, Ah, feels so nice in the low back. Mm. Next exhale here, we're going to slowly release this right knee. Bring that right foot down to the ground. And then we're going to take this left knee and cross it over the right knee. Inhale as you lift the hips off the ground and scooch them over towards the left about an inch. Allow those knees to fall over to the right side. And let's go ahead and Y out these arms and gaze over the left shoulder. Oh, this feels so nice this evening. Such a beautiful day. Relaxing after a long week. Feels so nice. Inhale, let's come back to center nice and slow. And we're going to uncross the knees here. And we're going to roll over to one side, coming into a fetal position just for a moment and use this top hand to push ourselves up. We're going to take a seated Baddha Konasana now. Soles of the feet touching, knees falling away from the body. We're going to grab the ankles here and we're going to undulate the spine. So we're going to do our first seated cat and cow here. So big inhale as we bring the heart forward, gaze comes up, and then exhale as we fold at the hips. Starting to tuck the chin to the chest. Rounding in the back and inhale as we lengthen up. Heart comes forward and gazes up. Exhale, fold. Tuck the chin to the chest and round. One more time. We're going to inhale and lengthen up the spine here and exhale, fold. Tucking that chin to the chest. And inhale here as we lengthen up the spine. Now we're going to do a twist here and pull back like on an imaginary bow and arrow here. So reaching the left arm out here, right out in front of us. Keep a hold of your right ankle with the right hand. Big inhales, we pull back on that bow until we reach the shoulder. And then exhale, twist over towards the left, reaching those left fingertips back behind you. Big inhale as we come forward. Grabbing a hold of that left ankle, we're going to reach the right fingertips out in front of us. Inhale, pull back on that bow until we reach the shoulder, and exhale, twist open towards the right, reaching those right fingertips back behind you. Inhale as we come back forward. Bringing the hands to the ankles. We're going to slowly guide the knees back together. Cross those ankles and let's meet in tabletop at the top of the mat. A tabletop. We're going to meet in child's pose actually. I'm going to take my scarf off here. So coming into a child's pose, we're going to do cat-cow wave here. Big inhale as we tuck the chin to the chest and we round and we wave the body forward. Shoulders come over the wrist and keep inhaling as you send the sit bones up towards the sky. Belly reaches down, heart pulls through, gazes up. And big exhale as we push back into child's pose. Inhale, tuck that chin to the chest and round and wave that body forward, shoulders over the wrist. Inhale as you send those sit bones up towards the sky. Gazes up. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale here as we tuck the chin to the chest and we round and wave the body forward. And this time we're going to come into a neutral spine here. Coming into a tabletop. Feeling really good. Spread those fingers nice and wide. We're going to open up those wrists. So let's do circles over those wrists. Grip the mat with the entire finger, creating a little lift in the middle of the hand here, creating strength in those hands and those forearms. Next exhale, let's go ahead and switch the direction here. Feeling into this stretch. Closing up the fingers now so there's no gap in between the fingers, keeping them nice and closed. Hold on. Let me adjust really quick here. All right, keeping those fingers together. We're going to externally rotate the hands until the fingertips are facing the knees. Next, exhale here. We're going to sink the hips back and lift the heel of the hand off the mat, stretching the entire finger. Keep that entire finger lengthened out on the mat. And let's make circles with those thumbs. Moving in one direction and then moving in the other. Next, exhale here. We're going to sink the hips back even further and lift more of the hand off the mat, only leaving the fingertips on the mat. Feeling that stretch in the hand and breathing. Next, inhale here. We're going to sink those hips back to the heels, sitting up, and we're going to bend in the elbows, and we're going to open and close the hands. Just feeling into this stretch in the hands. Now we're going to do the tops of the forearms now, so flip those hands over. Bring those hands right in line with the knees. You can rock side to side here, feeling into this stretch. It's pretty intense at times. Oof, my right forearm is pretty tight. We're going to intensify this a little bit by rolling the shoulders down and back, drawing the scapula, the shoulder blades together. Heart comes forward and gaze comes up. Feeling into this stretch. And next, exhale, go ahead and take a seat on those heels, bend in the elbows, and again, shake out those hands. We're going to move into downward facing dog, and then we're going to move into a plank pose for a moment and then come into up dog. Coming forward into a tabletop, spreading those fingers nice and wide, tucking those toes, and let's send the hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and pedal it out. Feeling into this down dog. Lifting up the hands here. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. And externally rotating those triceps. And separate the scapula. Next, inhale here. We're going to come up to the tippy toes. And we're going to tuck the chin to the chest. And we're going to wave the body forward into a plank where we're going to continue to sink the hips down and forward. Roll the shoulders down and back. Draw the shoulder blades together. Heart comes forward. Gaze is forward. With a big inhale here, we're going to lift the right toes off the mat and push the ground away as we come into a tripod dog. Woo. Stretching back, squaring up those hips here. And then next exhale, we're going to bring the knee to the nose and we're going to shift the body forward. We're going to come into pigeon pose. We're going to drop that right shin down to the mat, bring the hips down, untuck the back toe. Right shin is parallel with the left corner of the mat. Not laying in here. We're going to keep this active so the spine is nice and lengthened here. Heart is coming forward. Next, exhale here. We're going to tuck the back toe again. And then we're going to push the ground away and lift that right leg back up into tripod dog. Next, exhale here. We're going to bring the knee to the nose and we're going to shift the body forward and we're going to step the right foot in between the hands. Dropping the back knee down, we're going to inhale and push up into a low lunge, squaring up those hips and then sinking down, opening up that left hip flexor. Next, exhale here. We're going to plant the hands on the inside of the right foot and we're going to lift the back knee, drop the back heel down, and the back toes are going to start to point outward. We're going to walk the hands and bring the shoulders right over the wrists, and we're going to take our tabletop skandasana here. We're going to shift to the back of the mat as we bend in that left knee, bringing the shoulders over the wrists again. And again, tabletop skandasana here, opening up in the adductors, Getting that nice stretch in the inner thigh. Next, inhale, we're going to walk the hands back to center and we're going to bend in both knees. Make sure that the knees are right over the ankles. Hands come to the hips and inhale as we come up into a goddess pose. Hands to heart center here. Big inhale as we lengthen out those legs. Toes slightly in, heels slightly out, and we're going to take a nice wide leg forward fold. And the arms are going to come up towards the sky, like a nice little V here. Next, exhale, let's plant those hands down and let's walk them up to the top of the mat. Toes point forward, back toes are pointed a little bit out towards the left, and we're going to come into pyramid pose here. So lifting the back heel, slight bend in this front knee. Next, exhale, we're going to drop the back heel down and we're going to flex the front foot. Whew. Next, inhale, plant those front toes, lift that back heel, and with a slight bend in both knees, we're going to push forward and we're going to come into L shape here, squaring up the hips. Hips are parallel with the ground, slight micro bend in the standing knee. And then next, exhale, plant that left foot right next to the right foot and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift as the crown of the head reaches forward. And then exhale, fold. Plant those feet into the ground with a bend in the knees. And we're going to come to standing nice and slow. Chin is tucked to the chest. Inhale as we reach the fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center here. Big inhale as we reach the fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, we're going to fold forward nice and slow. Planting the hands down, let's go ahead and step back into downward facing dog. And let's do the other side. Big inhale here as we come up to the tippy toes, tucking the chin to the chest, and we wave the body forward into a plank just for a moment, sinking the hips down, heart comes forward, shoulder blades draw together. Next inhale, we're going to lift up this left toe, and exhale, push the ground away, coming into tripod dog. Next, exhale, knee to nose as we shift the body forward, and we're coming into pigeon pose. Bringing that left shin down to the mat, untucking the back toe. Left shin is parallel with the right corner of the mat. Heart coming forward, shoulder blades drawing towards each other. Next, exhale here, push the ground away as you tuck that back toe, and we're going to come back into tripod dog. Exhale here as the knee comes to the nose, and we're going to step that foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee down and push up into our low lunge. Finding our pose here. And then next, exhale, plant those hands on the inside of that left foot. We're going to lift up the back knee, plant that back heel down, and those back toes start to point towards the back of the mat, coming into our tabletop skandasana here. Opening up in the adductor muscles and breathing. Next, exhale, let's go ahead and bend in the right knee, bringing the wrist underneath the shoulders again, finding ourselves at skandasana in the back of the mat. Next, inhale, walk those hands up. Actually, walk those hands towards the center of the mat. And we're going to come into goddess pose. Bending in both knees and making sure the knees are right over the ankles. Hands come to the hips. And inhale as we lengthen up the torso. Hands come to heart center here. Next, inhale, we're going to lengthen out the legs, toes slightly in, heels slightly out, and exhale as we forward fold. Arms come up towards the sky. Hello. Nice little V here. Next, exhale, plant those hands down to the mat, and we're going to walk the hands to the top of the mat, coming back into pyramid pose. Back heel is lifted, front knee is slightly Has like a slight micro bend in it here. Heart coming forward. Exhale as we drop the back heel down and flex the front foot. Inhale as we plant the front toes down. We bend with the back knee and we're going to push ourselves forward, lifting up that right leg, coming into L shape, squaring up those hips. Both feet are flexed. Next, exhale here. We're going to plant that right foot right next to the left foot and forward fold. Inhale here as we press those feet into the mat. Arms are heavy, chin is tucked to the chest, and we come to standing nice and slow. Inhale as we reach the fingertips up to the sky, and exhale, hands to heart center here. Inhale, reach those fingertips up to the sky, and exhale, we're going to forward fold, bringing the arms out wide. Planting the hands here, let's go ahead and step back into downward facing dog. Big inhale here as we come up to the tippy toes, tucking the chin to the chest, and we're going to wave the body forward into a plank, but we're going to move into up dog here. Feeling into this big stretch. Next, exhale, we're going to lift this right toe. We're going to push the ground away, coming into tripod dog. Exhale as we bend this right knee, lifting up this right hip, and we're going to bend this right knee so much that we're going to bring the right toes back behind us, planting the weight into the left hand here. Heart coming up to the sky. Wild thing. Next, exhale here. We're going to sink those hips down, and we're going to take a twist, wrapping that left arm around that right knee and twisting over towards the right. Right hand back behind you. Woo. Next, inhale, we're going to come back forward. And now we're going to bring the right knee down to the mat. And we're going to take this left hand and plant it right back behind us. Right hand anywhere on the outside of the left leg. And we're going to twist over towards the left. Inhale as we come back to center. We're going to reach the fingertips up towards the sky. And exhale, we're going to fold forward here, leading with the heart, folding wherever we can. So keeping the back nice and long, heart coming forward as the heart could touch the toes here, and fold. Next, inhale here. We're going to push those hands into the ground. We're going to spin. We're going to lift this right knee. We're going to spin all the way back around. And we're going to come into downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Big inhale here as we come up to the tippy toes, tucking the chin to the chest, and we wave the body forward into a plank, moving into up dog here. Hearts coming forward. Big exhale here as we lift this left toe and push the ground away, coming into tripod dog. Exhale as we bend in this left knee, lifting up this left hip, bending in this left knee so much the left toes come back behind us. Weight in this right arm. Beautiful pose here as we come into a nice wild thing. Next, exhale here. We're going to sink those hips down. Keeping that left knee bent, and we're going to take a twist over towards the left, hugging that left knee into the chest. Inhale as we come back to center, and the left knee comes down to the ground, like if the legs are in tree pose here. And then we're going to take the right hand anywhere we can on the outside of the right hand, the left hand anywhere on the outside of the right leg, right hand back behind us, and take a twist. Inhale as we come back to center, and we're going to reach the fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, we're going to fold forward. Feeling into this stretch. Relaxing the neck and the head. Next, inhale here. We're going to push those hands into the ground. And we're going to find ourselves in the center of the mat. Coming into Baddha Konasana again. Soles of the feet touching, knees falling away from the body. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lengthen out this left leg, and we're going to bend the right knee even more, bringing the left elbow above the knee or to a block. And we're going to rainbow over this right arm, reaching with the right pinky to the opposite side of the room as far as we can, and then we're going to release and relax that right arm on top of the head. Next, inhale here. We're going to reach the right fingertips up to the sky, lengthening up the spine. And we're going to switch and do the other side. So plant the hands back behind you, lengthen out the right leg, and bend in this left knee. Right elbow comes above the knee here. Rest your head, and then exhale, rainbow over this left arm, reaching with that left pinky to the opposite side of the room. Once you can't reach anymore, let's go ahead and relax that left arm on top of the head. Next, inhale here. We're going to reach the fingertips up to the sky, and we're going to slowly lift the spine up. Planting the hands back behind you, and we're going to meet in easy cross-legged pose, Sukhasana. Bringing our hands together at heart center if you'd like in prayer, and closing down the eyes. We're going to finish our practice here. Thanking ourselves for showing up today, doing a nice, quick, strong practice. And thank you. Thank you all for allowing me to be a part of your practice. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening or day, wherever it is, wherever you're at. And thank you always for joining me. If you like what you see, please let me know down below. Leave me some comments. Or if there's anything that you suggest that you want to do, let me know as well. And again, if you'd like, please subscribe to this channel. I'm not sure where I'm going to put the little subscribe button, but I look forward to working with you again next week. Take care. Bye.